comment. And good morning, Apoku. We have him in the morning. Comment inside. We have Jazzi Kay. I'm going to call you DJ. Have you people call you that, DJ Jazzi?
No. So I just got back on Facebook like a year ago. I quit all social media because I was getting hounded by people from the past, so I'm like, this is rotten. I don't want anyone finding me. And so I jumped back on because I was missing out on everything. I'm missing out on like posts from our gym, posts from my church, like friends, relatives that are far away. So I'm like, okay, there is some good in being on social media. And yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to get back on, but I need an alias. So I'm harder to find. And yeah, and that's just been my handle for like online gaming and stuff. So yeah.
Oh, you do online gaming?
Okay. Well, I'll do like, Animal Crossing. I really got into Skyrim, and I'm a nerd. I like video games.
I love it. So do you do live streaming for gaming, online gaming, like these other like?
Not that good. No, I'm like your mom playing games. Well, literally for my kids. Yeah. No, I'm not that good. No, it's mostly just for fun. I think I'm always like the one that everybody wants to kick off, but
I don't know. You're pretty friendly. People tend to. I think people will tend to gravitate towards you. Just the energy you're emitting off. So, question. We've already let's introduce yourself. Sorry, we kind of jumped into it because we're so friendly. And I actually met. I haven't seen you in person, so I appreciate you jumping on. But I've met Jazzi through just Facebook connection, and she's inside my women's group, and she actually did our Facebook Live BJJ solo drill. So
those were so good.
Well, good. since we talk about that a little, so how was that? What was I guess some moves that stood out that helped you?
Mostly it's the transitions that really helped, like the stand-up. So when you had us do the side sprawl, I've never done that before. I've done a sprawl where you're just like, bleh, and you're, with the legs back, and I look like a dead whale. I'm like,
you're you're the second person that not like that dead whale, but commented like. Yeah, I think it might have been Julie Hensley that might have commented something like that. But she goes, yeah, I'm so like awkward when I'm doing this. I'm like, I was too.
Yes. Oh, but for some reason doing the side sprawl, that was a little easier. I could grasp that a little better. And then just working on the stand up, with your foot back. Sorry, I have a bunny that's been eating my garden, and I hate it. It's like out there, and it's just staring at me. It's like giving me the side eye.
Oh my God. Oh. So the bunny's eating your garden?
Yes, quarantine. It's we decided to try a garden because we're all stuck at home. So
yeah. We have some.
Not a farmer, but trying, and apparently we have rabbits now. We didn't.
If it comes, do you live out in the country or is it in the city?
No, we're in the city. Okay. No, but we've got like a little backyard, and so we just.
I was gonna say, if it's in the country, if it comes down to you have rabbit meat. Just FYI, I'm just letting you know.
Got up yesterday. I was like, King County, can I, shoot rabbits in Seattle? And like, it's because my 13-year-old, he's like, Mom, I have a BB gun. Like, I know you do, son, but let's find out if it's legal first. Yeah,
that's awesome. Where's Chelsea at? The farm girl. She'd love all this conversation right now.
I think it's really good. I put something up on Facebook like, what do I do? There's a rabbit, and I got some good feedback. So I think I'm gonna try planting basil, and then if I have to, I'll put in some kind of fence thing.
Yeah. So,
I don't know. We'll see. I send the dogs out, and my dog is obsessed. She's right here. This is Pepper.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Pepper. Do you have a salt?
I don't, but yeah, no, we have an Odin, and he's blind in one eye. He's old. He's our old man dog.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, she'll chase the bunny, and I thought that would deter the bunny, but it doesn't. It just makes my dog obsessed with going outside just to chase the bunny. And,
Gotcha. Cool. So let's go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us where your name, where you're at, belt level, and academy.
Sure. So I'm Kristen Jasinski, and on Facebook it's Jazzi Kay. I just kind of inverted it. And
Love it.
We're in West Kent, which is about 20 minutes from Seattle area in Washington. And I'm a blue belt, and I train out of Rough House Jiu-Jitsu, and we've got Renton, West Seattle, and Federal Way locations. So
nice. Who's your coach out there?
Professor Arthur Ruff is who I train under.
Hi, Professor, if he's watching.
I don't know. It's kind of early.
Yeah, it's a struggle. So how are things out in the Kent area, Seattle area? I know it's a struggle out in Washington.
Yeah, we're, I try to keep up on the news every day, and our mayor will post regular updates and like on the whole, when we're on our phases now. And I try to understand the phases, but it's still pretty vague. We're still in phase 1 right now. So we're still stay-home orders. And then I think it was yesterday. So King County, the county that we're in, they're not requiring, I don't know what the wording is, like they're not enforcing it, but they're highly, highly encouraging everybody to wear face masks outside. So like within the county. And we've got the regular like lines to get into stores, and everything's still shut down. I mean, I do, my part-time job is shopping for other people. So I do, people will order online, and then I'll go shop grocery stores for them.
Nice. A personal shopper for groceries.
Kind of. Well, for groceries. Yeah. If you order grocery delivery online. And so we're hopping, my job's hopping, which is good, but I have 3 kids at home because there's no, everything's been shut down. So anyway, but we have to wear like masks inside, and you have to keep a distance, and the grocery stores have like lanes, like one-way aisle. And I made the mistake of going the wrong way once, and that is not the thing to do when the guy is stocking the shelves. I got in trouble.
Oh, wow.
Like, you're going the wrong way. I'm getting groceries. Like, leave me alone. I'm asking, I'm staying away from you. It's like, you're going the wrong direction. I'm like, man, I can't win.
Gotcha. So, wow, you have 3 kids.
I have 4 total. I have 3 at home. So, yeah.
Gotcha. What's their ages?
My oldest is 22, and then I've got 13, 12, and my youngest is daughter, and she'll be 10 in 2 weeks. So
okay, and you're 42 or about to be 42?
Yes, I'll be 42 in 10 days.
If I forget, happy birthday. You don't look 42. Amazing, by the way. Question, how are you? Well, before we'll jump to this question. I'll come back to the competition question. How are you handling kids during the situation?
It's been hard. So we do my kids do a hybrid. They do academics at home because they need to be a little more challenged than they would be in our current school district academically. So I teach them at home. We use a couple different programs, and then they do all of their electives. They walk to the middle school. We're fortunate we lived close to the middle school. So they kind of were home more than the average public student. They just would go for band, orchestra, and drama, and then they'd walk home. So that side of things hasn't been too bad. It hasn't been too rough a transition for us. I know everybody's situation is so different. I think the hardest thing is that we can't go to the library. We can't go to the beach. We can't go to the park. We can't, there's all these places. We're so active. We usually are going somewhere or doing something, or I think that's been hard, but it's been good too. Like there's good and bad.
Yeah. Well, so what are the silver linings you're finding? What are some of the things you're improvising?
Oh, like more time at home. And that's been another thing. Like jujitsu was, I mean, it still is, but it was like we'd go Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays were, scouts and youth group. And then Thursdays were jujitsu and Fridays. And then they do Muay Thai also. So it was like Muay Thai, jujitsu, and then adults class. So we were at the gym for like 3 to 4 hours, the whole family. And that was our routine. And with that being totally wiped away, it's been kind of nice because we've had to explore different things like puzzles, and we've been giving them projects to do. Like right now, they had to find a building and research like a building or a structure, and then they have to build it in Minecraft. So they really like to do Minecraft. So my oldest is building Notre Dame in Minecraft. It's looking pretty sweet.
That's awesome. That's like some creative things you guys are doing. For sure. I think one of the things that anytime we're limited on a resource, we start to become more creative in a way.
It's so true. Yeah, we've got a little crew of creatives. My husband's an artist, so he's like, the kid's got his painting and drawing gene, and I draw a mean stick figure, but that's about it.
So how's he, and this is like more of a personal question, but how's he, if he's an artist, is he doing pretty well as an artist, making a living with that, or?
Well, it's always been, so it's always been like the side gig. His full-time job, the one that gives us our health insurance, he does game art, like game design.
Okay.
So he was already working from home Tuesdays and Thursdays. So really, it hasn't, we've been really fortunate in that it hasn't really affected our family as much, like financially and work-wise. And yeah, I always say, if we didn't have any kids, we'd be able to live off the art. Kids, we need insurance because they do things.
Have you said that to your kids?
I think they may have overheard me. But
it's funny sometimes. Sorry, I don't have any kids, but we kind of say that to our fur baby, our little weenie dog. And I was like, man, Ping Pong, if we didn't have you, we would be traveling a lot.
We're going all over, jet setting.
Gotcha. All right, so let's move on to this question. What's your favorite BJJ sub, and how often do you compete?
Oh man, my favorite sub. I'm still a blue belt. I'm just working on defending.
Let's say
blue belt. So.
go-to moves. How about that?
Go-to moves. I really like omoplata, and I've been working right before our quarantine. I was getting ready for pans. I'm really excited because I'm like, I'm gonna do something big, and I'd signed up, got the hotel, plane, everything. So I was super bummed when they canceled pans. I was pretty bummed. But
did you say that was going to be your first competition?
Oh no! Okay. No, I've competed a lot. I am not. I should say I've competed, but I'm not. Like I'm not super good. I like competing, and I like meeting the people and the ladies, and because it's so outside of.
You're a social bug, it sounds like.
I think so. I'll compete. I'll get my butt kicked. Well, actually, I shouldn't say butt kicked. I hold my own. I'm not like the double gold.
So when you either you don't. You might intimidate them but you don't really intimidate people. You like distract them by your who was it? Professor Melissa Lozen. She said she talks to people during her matches and stuff. I'm like, so that's how you strategically speak to people. She talks to people. I'm like, so while you're mounting them, you're like talking to them. Is that what you're doing?
I'm a mat talker, but not while I compete. But like if we're drilling, or rolling, I'll talk to myself. It sounds psycho, but I'll be like, "Why did I do that?" You know, I'll try to go up for a triangle and I'll do the wrong leg or something, and I'll go, "Oh, that was so dumb," and I don't realize I'm talking out loud. And so my opponent's like, "What?" Like, "Oh, sorry." Just talking to myself.
It's all fun. It's cool. That's funny. So so from when you started competing, how many times have you competed? Guesstimate.
Oh, probably, I don't know, probably 10 or 11 times, I think.
So within those 10 times, so talk through how has the mindset and the preparation has evolved from the first throughout the past 10.
So let's see, I started when I was 39, so I was already, I was an older lady, a seasoned lady starting.
There you go. I love the way you word stuff. I'm learning as I'm getting up in the 40s. I'm like learning how to reword stuff.
Yeah, right. But let's see. So I started in October, and the first competition I did was that next August, and I was a white belt, and it was the IBJJF Seattle Open. And I registered, and at that time, they just had adult and master one for women. They didn't have like master 1, 2, 3, like they didn't have multiple. It was just you were either an adult or you were a master one, and that was it. Yeah. And so I will fight either at feather or light feather, depending on how, depending on how many cookies I've eaten that month. So. That one was, I was in the feather, and there were no other ladies, so I had to go and fight at adult. And these girls, oh my goodness, I was so excited to go, but I was also nervous. And I meet my two competitors, and they are the same age as my oldest son. And I'm just like, this is the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever done. I've done some ridiculous things, but this is like, I'm going to roll around and compete with ladies that are half my age. But it was a blast. It was a blast. I held my own, but it's one and done. So I only had one match, and I was out. I mean, she was so fast. She was so quick. One on points. So I'm always holding on to that. Like, hey, at least I didn't pass out.
That's awesome. That's a pretty cool. You have this persona. You just go out. You don't care. You're just having fun, and you're like, you're having a blast. And that's something that I'm like the opposite of you. As far as when I go compete, but there was someone else within the gym that has your same persona and stuff, but I gravitate towards that because I was like, if I can only have like half of that, I'll be okay in competing. And so just working towards that attitude and that mindset. So it's just amazing just to see people like you going out, who cares about the outcome and just having fun, having a blast, because in actuality, you're like, who in their 39, 40s, 50s plus are out there doing that stuff? Right. Probably anybody. So yeah.
It's so hard when you register and there's like nobody in your bracket, and you're just waiting like, come on, ladies. If we all just try.
Yeah. And then you're like, am I actually the 1%er? The one person that's out there?
I know. I'm like, I'm not even that good. Like, I'm all right, but
gotcha.
There's gotta be some ladies out there. There's gotta be somebody else out there. And so Facebook has been great for that, at least for me, because we have so few women that train in our gym. So these Facebook connections that I've been able to make through your channel, and especially on quarantine, I've been able to have more time to really connect with ladies a lot more and explore different like online communities. And that's been really cool. And that's really kind of helped me when I felt like, oh, I'm all alone. Like, I'm not
Connect in a way.
Yeah. So that's been awesome. That's been super fun.
That's awesome. Good to hear. Let me back up a little bit. Does it constantly rain in Seattle, as people say?
It's, I'd like to say, so the rainfall itself is pretty average, but it's great. It's pretty great. The summers make it all worth it, though. The summers are amazing. If you want to go, if you're tired of the hot and the humid, and just come here in the summertime. It is so nice. It's like 75, 80, sunny, blue skies, everything's green. It makes it worth it. But yes, I think from like September, October, clear through, well, today's pretty dreary. We get our moments, but I really live for like June, July, August. Like those are, then it's so fun. You've got the mountains, you've got the water, you've got all the green. It's
it's I think so what's Kent known for as far as landscape out there?
I live on a hill, and there are we just took down, I want to say like 8 trees last summer, and we still have 14 in our backyard, and they're just big old pine. They're huge. There's big old pine trees. So it's like at least in our area, there are trees, and then you'll have like houses between the trees. And anyway, but we're still pretty close. It's pretty populous here, but you drive 20 minutes and you're up in, Snoqualmie Mountains, and you drive an hour and a half and you're in the Olympic rainforest, and you go, 15 minutes and there's the water. And so it's really, I like the area in that there's so many different, you can be in the city if you're a city girl, and, I like to get my city fix, but then you can also like scooch on up to the mountains real quick and take the kids hiking and take the dogs running and go to the beach. And but it's not a beach like California beach. It's like rocks and barnacles, but it's still cool.
Yeah. That's one place. Yeah. Well, that's a place that we'll have to go out and visit, is being able to visit Washington when things kind of settle down out there. Because we tend to visit Oregon when we can. And so it's just, it's just next door. So that's one of our lists to go travel to. Poku says that's how you make a lot of friends, going out to compete, for sure.
Yes.
Let you know what works and it doesn't work. Yeah, competing for sure.
That's so true. You find your hole real quick if you want to know where your holes are. Like, go compete.
Besides jiu-jitsu, what do you do to stay in shape?
Oh man, I am just naturally hyperactive. So I do weightlifting, and I love going to the gym. I love it. It's my happy place. So
what do you do now when you can't go?
Right. We have mats in our back room, and I've been doing Sophia McDermott's fit. She's got some online fit things. Yeah, I've been doing those, and those are killer. I was kind of worried because, when everything shut down at first, it was weird because I went to the gym for my usual like 6 a.m. I'm at the gym, I'm ready to lift. I walk in the doors, and the guy at the front desk is like, "Oh, Kristen, we're gonna have to shut down at 9 o'clock this morning." I said, "Oh, that's fine. I'll be out of here by 9. Like, I don't work out 3 hours." And he said, "No, we're shut down for the rest of the month." And this was in March, and I went, "No." And I got that last workout. I made that workout so hard. It's gonna be worth it.
Gotcha.
But I didn't imagine that it would be closed this long. I thought, oh yeah, a month, and then everything was fine. But after a while, it's like you got to start finding your own stuff. Oh, that dumb rabbit. Sorry.
You might have to set a trap out there for the rabbit.
Yes.
Set a trap out there. There's like, so what was it? Raccoons got our chickens. And so we set a raccoon trap. And so we caught a family of raccoons. So try to get a raccoon trap for you.
Okay. I'm looking into that. It's made me mad. But,
stuff we learn from experience. He's like, I'm gonna retrain you. You're gonna be my pet.
Right?
And if you don't, you might be food. So be careful.
Yeah, be like, I want the bunny. Don't kill the bunny, Mom.
Awesome. As far as your kids, do they train in anything else?
They do. So they do jujitsu, and then they picked up Muay Thai about a year ago. And what's funny is that my daughter is the one, she prefers Muay Thai over jujitsu. And yeah, the boys, I watched the boys do, they've been doing jujitsu for a lot longer than I have. And then my daughter got to be 6.5, almost 7. And that's when we started the boys, because, we wanted them to be older, because they have short attention spans like their mom. So they needed to be a little older. And I told her, you're going to try jujitsu. And she did not want to do it. She was crying like crocodile tears. And she did not want to do it. And she got really mad one day. And it's like, why do I have to do this? And you don't have to. She's like, the boys are all doing it, and now I have to do it. I think she realized that I was the only other girl in the house, and the boys all did jujitsu, and now she was having to do it. So why was Mom not having to do it? And I didn't have a good answer. Like, I don't know why. I just never. It didn't look like fun to me. I liked watching it. I liked cheering the boys, but like, I don't know if I want to roll around and like on the ground with other people, other men that are not my husband. Like that was hard for me to get over. So, cause I like my personal space.
Yep.
So
gotcha. Yeah. That's something that we forget is when you're first starting out is that close encounter. And
that one was really tough. And the only reason I think at first I didn't love it right away, it's kind of funny. The only reason I didn't quit at first is because my daughter's doing it. So I didn't have that option. If I quit, then I would tell her she could quit. And I'm not a quitter. So I've got to model this. So after a little while, when things start clicking, the first time that you're like, you get an arm bar and you don't finish it, but you it's like it clicks in your brain and you automatically go to it and you go, oh my gosh, my body remembered what to do. My brain remembered what to do. And you just feel like, yes, like I've leveled up. It's like a video game.
You think you might have kind of answered that. Well, what do your kids think about you competing?
Oh, they compete as well a lot. And my kids we just support each other. We just go and cheer each other on. I'm the loud, obnoxious mom. I'm always worried because I know, you don't want to be that one person who's on the side, like, like cheering for their kid like crazy, but I can't help it. It just happens. I'm like, be happy. Every video of my kids and competing, it's like me behind the camera, and you can just hear me yelling.
You know what? Your kids, maybe, I don't know how they feel about that. They may be embarrassed about it, but honestly, I think I would much rather have someone cheer me on like that versus no one there. just my take on.
Yeah. I always tell me to hear me.
Good.
So I'm like, all right, can't hear me. We were at the Kids International last year, and I was yelling so hard for one of my boys. I'm just yelling, and he's not doing what I'm yelling at him for. And he gets done, and I said, how come you didn't, you're supposed to like flip over. Why did you not do that? And he's like, Mom, I can't hear you. And I stopped and I just quieted myself and I listened, and it was so loud in there. I'm like, of course you can't hear me. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, like, why didn't you hear me? I'm so loud and obnoxious. So the poor people next to me, they probably hate my guts. I'm probably in their video and I'm that one lady.
That's awesome. Yeah, as you go through your jiu-jitsu journey, you'll start to learn how to become a better parent and coach.
Yes,
understanding when to coach, what to say, and allow your other coach, your coach to coach. So
I've learned to keep my mouth shut.
Gotcha. So what would you say, we're going a little bit deeper, what is like the hardest thing you had to overcome in life, or just in life, jiu-jitsu, anything?
Oh, man. I've lived like 5 lifetimes, I think, in one.
9 lives.
Right. Let's see. I think the hardest thing.
You can name a few. I was just thinking of.
Tough. There's lots of tough things. I was homeless for a little while. That was tough. In my early 20s, I struggled with some addiction pretty hard. I've got a pretty naturally, I don't know, I'm like all or nothing, like and that was hard. So in, 18, 19, when you're just like, you want to be your own person, you're like, I'm an adult now, I can make adult decisions. I can, go buy cigarettes and lottery tickets and what's this thing called, all these, anyway. I ran with a bad crowd, let me just say that. And it just ended up leading to a lot of darkness, I think, really. And you just get to a point where you're like, I'm broke, I have no money, because I'm spending my money on these things that I think are making me happy. And you get in this cycle where you can't stop. You feel like, okay, I can't. You think you can do it on your own. You're like, I'm fine. I can totally handle it. And you can't. So I think, right around 21, I had a 1-year-old. I was married at the time. And that was a quick, it was like a wake up call. Like I had my oldest son and I was 21 years old, but I'd already experimented in so many things.
When you talk about addiction, are you talking about like drug addiction?
Yeah. Not, not drinking so much. That was more social, but no, this was drug addiction. And that was hard. That was hard. That was hard. That was a hard time. That was rough.
And then when you said, when you had your first kid, it was a wake up call. And so
I was responsible for myself. I think I had a kid, I had a child and I went, oh my gosh, I was so selfish and self-centered. And I realized that was the, that was the addictions they were controlling me. But I was, and I felt like I can, I felt like I can ruin my own life, but I don't have the right to ruin this kid's life. Like that is not cool. That is selfish. And that's when I started to make those changes, went through divorce and was a single mom for 6 years and then met my wonderful husband. It's like everything started to get better once I stopped being selfish and once I recognized my own weakness, and I think God helped me recognize my weakness, or at least gave me my son to say like, hey, knock it off. It's not all about you. Like you need to, you need to get out of this and here's some help, in the form of a baby.
Yeah.
He's 22 now. He's great. He's married. We're all, met my husband, my current husband, when my oldest was 6, and he adopted him, and we just, 3 of our own kids later. It's like,
that's awesome. So it sounds like he was your miracle when he was born.
Yeah.
That was that pivotal point that changed your life for the better on that.
It was, for sure.
That's awesome. Awesome story. Thank you for sharing that. I know it's a tough thing to share, but it definitely is courageous for you to share stuff like that. So when I know some people are able to snap out of it, I don't know if you did or not. So I don't know kind of what were some of the process you had to do to kind of get yourself out of that addiction. I know the big motivator was your son.
It was. Yeah. He, so I moved, I was living in a tent in Alaska at the time.
Wow. That's just insane. That's the reason why I ask people the hardest thing they ever overcome, because look at you. You're like this vibrant, beautiful, bubbly lady. But people think, she didn't have anything hard, but here you are, like homeless, someone who used to be a drug addict. So go ahead. Sorry.
It was bad. No, that's okay. Yeah. People I meet now, I cut off all, I realized that, I think when I made that transition, I moved from Alaska. I called my parents. I hadn't talked to them in probably like 2 years. And I pretty much disconnected myself from all of my family, like did not talk to anybody. Just, I think there were times where they probably wondered if I was still alive because I was just, out there somewhere. But I called them, and thankfully they hadn't changed their phone number from when I was, a kid. It was always been the same phone number back the landline days. And I called them, and I was just like, I need to come home. And they were like, okay. And, they bought me a plane ticket the next day. I got myself to Anchorage and flew home to SeaTac to Seattle. And they kept me at their house. And I knew I had to like cold turkey, because I recognized that if I even kept a few of the friends, I should say, or the people in my life previously, if I had them around, I wouldn't get clean. I wouldn't get clean, and I wouldn't be able to move on, So yeah, so I just cut all that out and have loving parents who just love me unconditionally and let me stay at their house and and go through all the horribleness that is trying to get clean and sober, and shakes and sweats and angriness and just all those feelings. It's awful. It's terrible. It's really a yucky thing.
Yeah, that's just amazing. All the stuff that you've gone through reminded me of the scripture. Actually, I kind of had it on this, but I don't know if you know the scripture, but this scripture was engraved in my father's grave when he passed away back in 2003. But for an old life has gone and a new life has begun, 2 Corinthians 5:17. And so one of the things, I'll keep that up. One of the things that talking through, in order for our old selves, we have to let that die for our new selves, new, better version to birth. So something has to die for something to be birth or rebirth. Okay. So that's something that I was thinking about this past week, is even our old habits, whether it's if we want to become our new, better versions of ourselves, we have to let something go that's holding us back, whether it's certain circle of friends, environments, habits that's keeping us down, stuff like that. So I know, I hate to say this, sometimes, during this time I've actually had I don't a person close that lost somebody dear, lost her husband recently. That was unexpected. So, so hearts out for any of those who've lost somebody, because it's never hard losing somebody. But just to give you guys some hope, there's always some sort of, as long as we don't stay within the death environment, then there's the hope of rebirth or birth of a better version of life. Okay. So just wanted to leave you with that, because that's something that your story has brought up, that scripture in my head. So
that is the perfect description too. Yeah. You just have to cut ties with the old, and yeah, people that meet me now have no clue.
Yeah. People that know me now have no clue who I was as a person in elementary, high school, college. Yeah. I didn't, like, I've grown the past year, I've grown so much because I've become more obedient with God's calling. I've grown so much the past year, even through all my ups and downs and broken limbs that I've gone through. Because of that, I've grown so much the past year as a person versus the past 41 years, if that makes any sense. So
totally. It does.
On that. So let me go back on there. So I'm going to kind of close out. I know we kind of talked a little bit. As we're kind of on it, what would you say is like some of your spiritual gifts that you discovered or realized?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
How would people describe you?
Oh, that's a tough one too. I don't like thinking about myself. How would people?
I think you're a cheerleader, encourager. I think that's a gift that you have.
Cheerleader, not cheerleader in the sense of like, but but I will help you fight the good fight. I'll be there in your corner, and I'll be holding your water bottle and telling you off and yelling on the sidelines and embarrassing everyone.
Yeah.
I just want everybody to be, to have a good time in life, whatever that means for you. Go find your thing and do it and enjoy it and do your best and just be kind, just be kind.
Awesome. That goes into the positive message. So yeah, that's something that I want you to leave with others today is be yourself, be kind for sure. Before I forget, so has anyone given you a nickname yet?
A nickname?
Other than Jazzi?
Oh, I was going to say, I've had a few nicknames.
Oh, well.
Not within the jiu-jitsu realm.
Well, if I'll give you a first ninja nickname. So I'm going to call you DJ Jazzi Assassin.
Yes. Okay.
Assassin K. DJ Jazzi Assassin K. How about that? That's your nickname. All right. So we're going to, unless you all have some questions, I appreciate you jumping on just as the last minute, because I just messaged you last night. Because appreciate it. Your story. I know with me, it's not about popularity with me. It's all about, I've given up on expectation. It's more about appreciation. And that's something that I took up from Tony Robbins. He's always talking about appreciation versus expectation. So it's all about anything in life is actually a bonus. It's extra appreciation. So, but anyways, anyone who jumps on, appreciate it. Maybe you're able to touch somebody. If not, but just by sharing your story helps us grow as a person. So, and it takes boldness and courage just to be able to share your faith and your story, your struggles. Not everyone can do that. So I appreciate you as a person to coming on. Okay. Appreciate you. Anyone else who jumped on, Opoku asking questions, appreciate your loyalty to coming on and asking questions, and anyone else who comes on and comments or even likes or just watches and so forth. or even behind the scenes. I know some of us are kind of behind the scenes because I do it too. I go behind the scenes. I don't want anybody to see me. I'm a loner. I prefer that. But anyways, I'll leave you guys that. Let's have a little dance out because I know you'll dance out to me because you're all bubbly.
Pepper will dance.
So let me pull up some. Don't be doing that. And it. So I had. Okay. Cool. All right. I think I got it. Well, commercial. Hold on. Of course, Dan commercial is. I had it set up, and then the commercial gets in the way. Gotta love it. Hold on. Give me 5 seconds, and then it'll come on. And you're gonna hear crickets. All right, you hear that?
Oh yeah, I got it. Oh, I can do the earphone.
Oh, you froze on me. I'm dancing on. What's it?
Whatever.
Oh, love Pepper. So what kind of dog is that?
I think she's.
What kind of dog is that?
I think she's a Shih Tzu. She's a rescue dog.
Okay.
So.
Oh, I love her. Do you grapple with her?
No, she's too small. I've got kids for that.
You just see my grapple videos with my media dog. Have you seen my grapple videos? She's small like that. She's freaking so small. She like is a vicious dog. One of her best friend was a pit bull. I'm just saying.
She's a big dog in a little tiny body.
Yes, she's a very loud dog on there. So, all right. Well, I'm going to leave you guys to that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you guys have a good day. And we're going to actually have Professor Jen Russell on tomorrow. So tune in on that and we'll get rocking and rolling. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. Love you guys. Have a good day.